do I go privately? So I don't know whether this was asked as, do me, Lizzie, go privately, or should this person go privately? So I'll try and cover both. Personally, me, in terms of my MEN1, that is all NHS covered. So in the UK, I don't know where you're all watching, in the UK we're really lucky because we have publicly funded healthcare, and the NHS covers pretty much everything apart from my prescriptions, which I have to pay for, but that's a drop in the ocean in comparison to the cost of this healthcare. And I guess that's one of the incentives is, we have this amazing healthcare system, and it can provide me, for no extra cost to me, with the kind of support that I need that's actually essential for me. And it does it very, very well. I think there is this misbelief that going privately means better. And I can't say this for every disease out there. I can't say this for every condition. In MEN1, I don't think that's necessarily the case. In fact, I believe it genuinely is the opposite. I believe that, and from speaking to other people, other patients, other experts, other kind of leaders in this area, that the NHS is really, really well set up to support us, because there are things already in place, systems and structures. The majority of patients are within the NHS, so that's where kind of the information is, that's where the resources are. And there are some incredible, the experts, the specialists from a medical point of view in this condition are all working within the NHS. They may work privately as well, but the NHS is their main thing. And I have asked in the past about going privately and been told, stick with NHS. So what private is going to do is basically probably give you a private room if you have to be an inpatient. You'll get a swanky, consultation experience with free tea and coffee maybe, and you will, and I think this is the main attraction for people, you will speed up certain processes because there aren't waiting lists to the same length. You can get an appointment the next day. As I say, with a condition like MEN1, where things are monitored so carefully anyway, and changes when they do happen seem to happen so slowly, it really doesn't make any sense to jump in and go privately, because that next day appointment isn't really going to make a difference in a condition like this. It might feel as though we're being held at ease a bit better because, we're finding a solution to the problem quicker. Ultimately, in this condition, I think it's really important to remember that things don't happen super quickly. And ultimately, if you go and have a private consultation, the likelihood is that you're going to end up seeing the same consultant or expert or surgeon as you would have done on the NHS. You're only speeding up the results you're getting, which is only helping maybe to change the way you feel up here or in here. It's not changing what goes on in here. And I think that's the really key thing. So I think that answers both kind of nuances of that question. I, for my NHS, don't go privately. For my MEN1, go on the NHS, and I don't go privately. If someone asked me would they recommend I went privately, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably say stick with the NHS, but ultimately it's everyone's own decision at the end of the day. There are other forms of healthcare for which I do go privately, and that's because they're not available on the NHS, and for me they're important and I'm willing to make that investment. But for MEN1, the NHS is doing really, really well.